3, 2, 1.
Hi, welcome back to Show Me Trucks. In this video, I get to rebuild my 4L60E two-wheel drive transmission that is going in my 1936 GMC. It's an aluminum 5.3 liter with it. This is my first rebuild, so mistakes are gonna happen. We're gonna play a game called, if you can point out all the mistakes I make, you're a superhero. Because I made a ton, just dumb stuff. You know, some because I'm lazy, some because I'm just inexperienced. So, somewhat, a couple issues were because the video I was watching, their training was a little bit different, which is a big issue that I found out. Almost every video I watched or all the information I found, it's just like none of them were dead on exactly the same. So be ready for that. It was fun. I'm happy I did it. I would definitely do it again. Expensive mistakes were made. So thanks for watching the video. And if it offends you that I don't know exactly everything, you know, everyone started once, and you know, mistakes make you better. Trust me, there's some things I'm 99.9% sure I will never make again because it was so annoying and painful on my wallet that I learned some painful lessons. Let's get into it. Well, to say that falling off the table was a stupid mistake was a understatement. I knew I was kind of playing with danger. I was just being lazy. It was working. I was balancing it the whole time, kind of paying attention. But obviously, just one lapse of judgment, and it fell. And I thought it was okay. And then I looked at it more. And of course, the aluminum cracked. Awesome. And I'm like, well, whatever. Maybe it's not too bad. Obviously, I need this training together. I have to get one. So, in case you're wondering how much input drum mistake is, $225 and a trip to the store, which is really far away. So, dumb mistake. Let me show you what I should have done. No, I just drilled a hole in my chair, and I was kind of putting it off because that's actually my wife's step stool. But here's the new one. $225 for that. That's awesome. This training rebuild is getting real expensive. I think I'm probably $500 or $600 in parts right now. So cool. Luckily, none of the other parts have any damage at all. It actually just kind of hit on the outside of this and just kind of shot all those parts out. I just cleaned them really well, inspected everything, but let's see. If you go around here, see where, there it is. There's a big old crack right here. Now I get to restart with this one. Luckily, I already have some practice, so hopefully this doesn't go too bad. I was actually going to try to take the input drum out of this other 4L60E I got. 4-wheel drive, but apparently they have the same input drum. Then today I kind of decided I don't think it's worth sprawling all these parts out. The labor, the time, because I kind of didn't want to put a new input drum into something I'm just selling. Just the same with all these other new parts that I'm just putting it together and then selling the truck. So it's kind of annoying to dump a ton of money into something that who knows what the return's going to be. But I decided against it. I'm going to put the new one in. I'll keep that in. I'll rebuild that whenever I get to it. Lesson learned, don't gamble, just do this to start. It just it seemed like it wasn't gonna be a big deal, but obviously a bunch of cuss words and bad stuff happened that I went ahead and edited out of the video because I was not in a good mood. So the big problem I was having is when I tightened the pump down, I didn't have any in play. You should be able to move this shaft up and down a little bit. It allows for some expansion, you know, when you're doing burnouts and everything gets hot in there. It's spinning and it's got in play, and I did everything the way it says. Let's wrap up this way too long video. Rebuilding this tranny has been unreal. My first one, obviously I didn't expect it to go amazing, but some of the headaches were a little rough. I probably, in the end, up and down, went down this probably 4 times. Pulled everything back out, input drum, reverse drum, frictions out multiple times. There's parts that you need to definitely keep track of and be very careful on what information you get off the internet as far as what videos you watch and even what diagrams you get, because each one's a little bit different. And there's some springs that the guy didn't have in the video, and then some of the bearings are a little bit confusing on which way they go. And I know everyone's gonna be like, oh, they're not confusing. But there's one that sits in between your input drum and your reverse drum rides on it. Well, I think I had that one in backwards, and it can go either way in theory. If you just set the bearing on the reverse drum, it'll ride on it and spin, and it's fine. But whenever you're putting that in, I assume it kind of gets out of place a little bit. I think that's where I was having problems with my in-play. It's a little hard to get exactly where you need it. And if it slides out of place, obviously it'll kind of pinch it up. But everything was still spinning, but I had no in-play. So tore it all back down, flipped that upside down. I thought my selective washers, I would have a thinner one. Of course I don't. They're all way thicker. But whenever I flip that around, it gave me some in-play. And then obviously have a dial indicator because it's really hard. You can't tell what, 10 thousandths of an inch in-play is like by feel. So, yay.